Welcome to week 44 of What Did Prince Do This Week? All right, we're going to get started with our housekeeping. And we still have this weird glitch with StreamYard since it's made some updates. But I took a screenshot of the chat, and according to StreamYard, Anna B was the first in the chat today, followed by Nick Felden. According to StreamYard, Anna B clocked in at 11:35 a.m. New York City time, and Nick Felden checked in at 11:54. All right. I don't know where Michael Dean is at. He may or may not join us. Welcome, Christina. Happy Day of the Dead. I'm my timekeeper. Really always appreciate having you here. This is so weird. Hi, Clarissa. All right, StreamYard is really finicky. I just saw Kim, and then Kim's not. I don't no longer see Kim, so StreamYard is having some issues, but we're gonna work with it. We got Arlene from snowy Canada. We got TP. Happy Saturday. We got Ronald Dagley Jr. Good afternoon. We got Mooches. Good afternoon, Purple folks. We got Vanessa. We got Man Ray in the house. A couple of days away from the 4th day of November. Turn it up. That's right. Man Ray 10. Yes. Happy Saturday. All right. So we're going to try to get through this housekeeping. Yes, Deja. I saw Beyonce dressed as, for me, yeah, it was like Apollonia hair, but Vanity clothes. So she looked amazing. She really did. But it was like, disconnect between the hair and the outfits, because the outfits were definitely Vanity. Welcome, Audria from the AT-Alien. We got Chris Bournet in the house. We got Becky. Happy to have you here live. Really appreciate that. Welcome, Drea Dances, back from the Shy. Awesome. So Drea Dances got to see Shelby J on Sunday and Stevie Wonder on Sunday. On Saturday. Shelby J on Saturday at the Dakota and Stevie Wonder on Sunday in Minneapolis. That was an amazing trip. We got Mila, my heart, welcome. We got Andre Staley, what up though? Oh my, we going to the MJ musical tonight in Detroit? Like, is it traveling or are you in New York City? MJ musical is amazing. Like, they did a fantastic job with that. We got Tanja all through the night and morning. We got JD Washington. It's so great to see you on your avatar with your symbol coffee cup. Yes, Deja, the whole look was Vanity except for the hair. The hair was definitely Apollonia, but the looks, the fits, as they say, was definitely Vanity, but she looked amazing. It was so great to see her to do that. And we got Jessie Jenkins. Blessings to you, Jessie. And then we got, let's see if I can do this. All right. Oh, wow, that's so amazing. So MJ musical in Detroit. That's so cool. And Man Ray 10. Going to see Stevie Wonder in the Shy tonight. And checking in from Cleveland, Ohio. Purple Cat Confetti had a fabulous time at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yesterday. Incredible. Yes. It was an homage to both. You're absolutely correct. This is what I'm talking about, Raywin. Any day is a good day to watch Under the Cherry Moon, for sure. We got Sakari live. Thank you for being here. Welcome, Sister Charles. Always a pleasure to have you here, as well as JJ Loves Prince. Yes, we've missed you. Thank you so much for checking in with us. We got Theo. How are you? With your Purple Rain shirt on your avatar in front of the Shots mural in Minneapolis. All right, so let's get through our housekeeping. So again, this is week 44 of What Did Prince Do This Week. This is a very, very slow read of Duane Tudahl's Prince Studio Sessions book series. We're still on book 1, almost 2 years into one book. That's how insane we are. But I love that you join us every weekend to read this amazing, incredible book. And in addition to our book club, we also have a Saturday salon echoing the spirit of the Harlem Renaissance. And that basically means that we can talk about art, music, culture, because that's what Saturday salons were all about. But if you're not familiar with Saturday salons, think beauty shop, barbershop, those kinds of things. So yes, Anna B, we're definitely going to be reading Duane's next book. So this is the second book that we will be reading, which is Prince and the Parade and Sign of the Times era studio sessions, 1985 and 1986. Just as big as the one we're currently reading. It is going to take us another 2 years to get through this one. So this is what's up next. So if you don't have it, this would be a really great thing to ask for Christmas, or if you have an upcoming birthday like myself in November, you can ask for this because this is what's next up. All right. Welcome, Dee. Okay, that must mean that you're in Cali. Thank you so much for stopping by, Dee. And then let's see what Chris Bournet is saying. It would have been cool if Beyonce would have dressed like Cat. Love this. So more people would know about her contributions to Prince's legacy. Yeah, that would have been so awesome. Welcome, Dorothy Edwards. Back in the house, but I'll be continuing with my school studies. And thank you, Arlene. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all of you for showing up. Because when I first thought about doing this, I was like, I don't care if 10 people show up. We're doing this because I really wanted to do a very slow deep dive into Duane's amazing books. Yes, Audra, it ain't over for sure. We got Keith Upchurch in the house. And Theo says, it took me a year to finish reading Barbara Streisand's almost 1,000-page memoir on and off. I didn't realize that Barbara Streisand's memoir was almost 1,000 pages. And then we have Lunch with Prince. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my God, Mila, this is so amazing that you got to see Sheila E. for the first time last night. She really is the queen, cried more than I expected. Sheila is amazing live, so I'm so thrilled that you got that opportunity to see her live. And we got Nathan, aloha from Maui. Wow, I had to stay up all night to make this 6 a.m. class. You are very dedicated. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, for sure, and being here live from Maui. And we got Baby Love 14. This is Marshall, and I live in Alabama. Awesome. That is my home state, Alabama. Thank you so much for being here. And hope everyone had a blessed week. And God bless everyone. Love that. Thank you so much. And we got Mario Tamponi joining us. We got Realign the DJ. I always love your avatar. So I see you switched it up again. And we got Sign of the Times with Cat on the back cover. And yes, it is so wonderful, Mila, that you got to see the one and only Sheila E. And Mario is joining us from Sardinia, Italy. Thank you so much for joining us. And okay, so Chris listened to Barbara Streisand's audiobook, which is 48 hours. Oh my God. I didn't know that there were audiobooks that were that long. That's a commitment. But what am I saying? We've taken 2 years to read this book. So 48 hours is nothing. So awesome. Okay, I'm sports illiterate, Raywin, but the LA Dodgers won the World Series. If my grandparents were still alive, I would know this because they were into baseball, but I did not get the sports bug because I got the music bug instead. Oh, okay. So Theo's also doing the audiobook. Okay. Yes. Amazing. 48 hours. Okay. So let's get finished with our housekeeping. On What Did Prince Do This Week? We're going week to week, not date to date. And you can follow the detailed schedule at this bit.ly link as well as this QR code. You do not need the expanded edition, but this is what we are reading, the one with the blue type. And the reason why I say this is the one that we're reading is because we have a schedule that's on the website for our book club, so you can keep up with where we are in the book. But again, if you go by the dates, you kind of know where we are. That's why I say date to date. And this is a book club website, bookclub.polysolid.com. And these will be archived at Polysolid as well as at MD. This will actually be on Michael's channel, even though he's not on here today because I thought he was coming. So normally I wouldn't do that just because I don't know if he likes that or not. But I hope that you'll subscribe, like, and help spread the word for Prince, not for me, because we want everybody to know that Prince worked his butt off every week. All right, so this is going to be really important moving forward because next week on What Did Prince Do This Week, I'm so excited because the Purple Rain Tour is going to be in full effect for a whole week in Detroit. That's where the Purple Rain Tour kicked off. So I'm really looking for, Andre, if you have any Detroit peeps who went to the Purple Rain Tour, I would love to hear from them. If they would want to come on, they can be on camera or they can just be on audio, or if they have any photos they want to share, that would be incredible. Photos would be amazing. So I really hope that this is when we're going to have some of you come on to talk about your experiences during the Purple Rain Tour. So this is where this slide is actually important. So you can email us at WDPDTW for What Did Prince Do This Week. And you can also use the hashtag WDPDTW on social media. But I will say that I haven't been on social media that much lately. And email is the best way to get in touch with me for sure. You were there, Andre? Can you come on and talk about it next week? Like, can you come on and join us? That would be really fantastic to hear about your experience at the Purple Rain Tour. And awesome. So, Andre, if you don't mind emailing me your email to this wdpdtw@gmail.com, that way I can actually send you how to connect. It's really easy to connect through StreamYard. And I can't wait to actually chop it up with you on What Did Prince Do This Week about the first week of the Purple Rain Tour in a city that Prince absolutely loved, which was Detroit. Okay. So again, we want to hear from you. If you saw the Purple Rain Tour, that's really important. Okay, so this is what we're talking about next week. We're embarking on the Purple Rain Tour, 84-85. Prince did 7 nights, sold out. That's the reason why it's red. Every single night was sold out in Detroit, Michigan at the Joe Louis Arena for the first week of the Purple Rain Tour. So I'm so excited. Okay, Vanessa. I would love to hear Robert Streisand sing Arms of Orion. That would be pretty cool. And let's see what Byron's talking about. I still remember kids getting on the school bus with all their Purple Rain gear after going to the concert tour in Los Angeles. Amazing. So when we talk about LA, it would be really great, Byron, to have you on if you want to come on. And obviously we have a Team's Arms of Orion in the house here with Vanessa. All right. So want everybody to remember that this is an independent endeavor and the estate of Prince Rogers Nelson is not affiliated, associated, or connected with the What Did Prince Do This Week book club series. We played at the beginning lines by the one and only Eric Leeds from one of my favorite records of all time, Times Square on Paisley Park Records from 1991. And you can see it was composed by Eric Leeds and Matt Bliston, which we had on 3 weeks ago, if I remember correctly, not too long ago. So if you missed that episode, you definitely want to check it out. And you can see Eric Leeds is pretty much on everything except for some H.B. Bennett drum samples. And it's my favorite song off of Times Square. So again, you got Eric not just playing horns, but also on the synths, as well as percussion and drum programming. So Eric is multifaceted when it comes to his musicianship. We have Mira here from Astana, if I'm saying that correctly. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So again, we are week 44, episode number 95. We're inching closer to our 100th episode. And this is What Did Prince Do This Week? What we know. And this is really important this week because we have a lot of empty dates that we don't quite know what was going on. And I should have an asterisk here for studio visit because technically it wasn't a studio visit. He recorded a new song at an arena with a mobile truck, which we'll talk about. And that new song this week was The Ladder. So according to Duane's book, this is the only thing we have on record in terms of what Prince was doing this week. So we're going to talk about Strange Relationship. It was a failed tracking attempt, as well as a basic tracking of The Ladder, as well as a rehearsal of Do Me Baby, which I didn't put on here. And these are the songs that Prince tracked in October. Only three, which is a little different from a lot of other months where there would be much more songs, but because there was preparation for the tour, and I'm sure there was things he probably had to do around the film, we are kind of low on the songs this month. So we got I'm So Confused, There's Only One Lord from October 3rd, and there's Condition of the Heart from October 9th, and we have The Ladder on Halloween, October 31st. So we are going to talk about that today. That's right, Chip and Sparrow. We only have 2 more months to finish the book, and we will be done with the book after 2 years. Oh my God. Yes, Laura, we are so looking forward to The Ladder. Oh my God, we have Matt Bliston. Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much for joining us right now. The one and only Atlanta Bliss. We so appreciate you. Yes, Vanessa, we do have to do something special for when we finish book 1. I definitely will. I can invite Duane to help us celebrate. And then we're going to have Duane come back for sure to kick us off for book 2. So yes, for sure. All right. So we're going to get into it now, and you need to take out your books, and we are going to page 444 to read about Wednesday, October 31st, 1984. And I'm going to make myself big so you can see something, my expressions and whatnot. So Strange Relationship, basic tracking, The Ladder, basic tracking, vocal overdubs, mix, and possible edit, Do Me Baby, instrumental rehearsal, venue, St. Paul Civic Center in Minnesota, and Flying Cloud Drive Warehouse in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Okay, Tanja, we need an online party. You got to help me. Yeah, help me out. Like, what should we do for the party? Let me know. So, you're absolutely right. We need to celebrate. We've spent 2 years on this book. So, for sure. And yes, everybody's looking for the ladder still. Okay, this is a quote from Alan Leeds. He says, if he was in and out of the studio constantly, and it seemed like more than any other time in his career, brilliant music was just passing through him. It was as if this huge flower had just blossomed. Love that. As the opening of the Purple Rain Tour got closer, the band was functioning beautifully. Everyone knew their parts, and once Prince locked in on that, he expanded the way the band performed together. Part of his trust with the revolution went to creating new music based on finding a groove that felt right. Brown Mark shed some light into how this worked. Our rehearsals weren't really rehearsing the show. I think this is actually really important to understand. We know this if you listen to any of the rehearsals, but for anyone who's new to Prince or may just be learning about Prince, this is something that was very different than other musicians. Prince's tour rehearsals weren't really about rehearsing the show. So this is what Brown Marks just said. We do a lot of jamming and creating a sound, and that's where a lot of that came from. And he would have the tapes rolling. And as he'd done in the past, Prince ran through Strange Relationship, but it was abandoned yet again. On the Ladder, a track that Prince had been working on since September, he showed the various members of the band what he expected them to play. Some were more complicated and some were more basic, including the music for Matt Fink. And this is Matt talking. I played on that, but it was a pretty easy part, something he just handed to me. And this is Prince. Here's the chords. Play it on the organ. So again, Duane, if you watch this, because I guess it's like a paraphrase of a Prince quote. So maybe that's the reason why you didn't bold it. Pretty simple, nothing challenging. Sheila E.'s saxophone player, Eddie Minifield, aka Eddie M, takes up the story. This is Eddie M. We were in production getting ready to go on the Purple Rain tour, and we were in Minneapolis, and he had a mobile recording unit set up. And I had no idea that I was going to be on the record. They were calling me to be on the stage and play, and I played. I was so green. I didn't know what I was doing. The next thing you know, Jerome Benton said, Eddie, come here. And he drags me out to the mobile recording unit, and I was like, what is this? Laughs. And they played it back, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm on a record. Several takes of the song were attempted before Prince seemed content with the results. During the first verse on one of the final takes, Eddie M added some improvisational horn lines that were ultimately omitted from the final mix. The song ends with another sax solo, followed by Prince singing the chorus, both of which were also eliminated. With the pending tour days away from overtaking everything, Prince was pushing himself to the limit on sessions like this one, according to Cubby Colby. This is Cubby. It was the first time I ever heard him crack his voice, and I couldn't stop from giggling at the console. And he stopped the band and he called me out on it. He goes, I don't know if you were going to blow up or fart. You turned so red. I said, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. And he went, no, that's okay. That's it for the day, everybody. We're done. I remember everybody thanked me after he left because rehearsal had gone on way too long that day. It was time for him to stop. He was tired. I could tell he was dead tired. But Prince's day wasn't over yet. This is Susan Rogers. We brought it back to the warehouse afterwards, and Wendy and Lisa did the vocals with Taja Seville, credited as Taj, but her real name is Nancy Richardson. So, for those you don't know, Taja Seville sang on the Ladder. But it's in the credits. If you read your credits, if you have the Around the Rolling the Day album, Prince brought her in because she was around at the time and he was curious about working with her in the future, so she joined us. This is Taja. I remember being in the warehouse and given the freedom to ad-lib as I pleased, which was perfect for me. I always appreciated the creative freedom that he extended to me. That was the perfect song for me to let loose on, and Prince told me that he really liked my contribution. I loved the latter because of the spiritual nature, the chord structure, and particularly the melodies, which moved me a great deal. Now, yes, Chris, I can't imagine being Prince being tired for sure. And yes, we definitely enjoyed Atlanta Bliss's interview on Funkatopia. All right. And Byron, I don't know where Michael is. I don't know, but I am here. I hope that's okay. And so let's see. Susanna Melvoin also joined them for the vocal overdubs. Prince replaced some of his lead vocals as well. And this is Susanna. He was really happy with that song. He loved it. I think he had fully realized the concept that he had been spiritually feeling. I think it was one of those songs that he could say, I nailed it. This is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to say. And this is how I said it. And all the music is right. And I'm right on it. And I'm fully realized on this track. I do believe that. So the status, the latter, 7 minutes and 10 seconds was edited down to 5 minutes and 29 seconds for a release on Prince's Around the World in a Day album. The other tracks remain unreleased. Today's attempt at Strange Relationship also remains unreleased. And this is Eddie M. quote, I think it was at the Civic Center in pre-production for the tour for 4 to 5 days. We took off right after that. But that definitely went down in pre-production. We weren't on the road yet in terms of the latter. All right, so that's all for the reading this week. And yes, so Dorothy, the way that we have it set up is that it automatically streams to both places. And I didn't know that Michael wasn't going to be here, or I would have removed it from his channel, but I thought he was going to join us like he did last week. So my apologies. Okay, so let's get some Anna B book and celebration ideas. Okay. A Purple Party Zoom call. Love that idea. And then there's a trivia, a music jam, a Name That Prince tune. These are some really great suggestions, Anna B. Yes. We have, Carol. We've already acknowledged the Day of the Dead, but thank you for reminding us. All right. So let's look at some lyrics for the latter. So these are Prince's handwritten lyrics. And I always love the first line of the latter, Once Upon a Time in the Land of Sin and Plenty. And it's just so great to see it written in his handwriting. And this is one of the songs, because usually when you see these handwritten lyrics, either a verse has been omitted or he changes the lyrics, but this one is pretty straightforward. Yes, this is one of my favorites as well, Christina. Exactly. The same here, Christina. You're mirroring what happened to me. It wasn't when I was younger because it was slow to me as a youngin'. And we're talking about, I would have been, again, 13 years old, but I grew into the song. So now it's actually absolutely one of my favorites. Yes, yes. Theo, I love the words that he created. I do too. I also love the worlds he created through his words. And is this the first occurrence of the electric? You know, that is a really great question, Laura. It might be the first instance of the Electra character. I think you're onto something, because in here it says, now this king, he had a subject named Electra, who loved him with a passion uncontested. Yes. And let's see, Barbara, you're never late. Because you had to finish an essay for my college class. Of course, you want to finish your essay, all of your homework first. So thank you so much for being here. So yeah, these are the lyrics to the latter. And again, I always love seeing Prince's handwriting. Now, in trying to find something in some of the newspapers, I stumbled across this, which was in the Detroit Free Press, which is actually an ad for the film. But what I really love about it is that it says, that paper that's underneath like the motorcycle wheel is it says if you couldn't get seats to the concert, again, because Detroit is going to be all next week in 1984, you can still get a seat to the movie. So I thought this was really brilliant advertising. And you can see that they're still playing Purple Rain in the theaters. There you can see that there will be some midnight shows on November 2nd and 3rd. And since we have Andre here, I'm curious, like, do some of these movie theaters still exist? I see that there's Adams Downtown, Norwest, Southgate, Dearborn, Showcase, Telex, Maine, Royal Oak, Showcase, Sterling Heights, Warren, Cinema City. Did you see Purple Rain in any of these theaters in Detroit, Andre? That's what I want to know. Yes, Kim, this is absolutely correct. It was kind of dirgy on the album. Live is definitely the way. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because on the accompanying playlist of this week, and how you get to the accompanying playlist is through my YouTube channel. If you go all the way to the bottom, you will see all the accompanying playlists. And you can also get to it by going to the slide deck, which you can also have access to through the book club website. If you go all the way to the bottom of that, and all of the images usually go somewhere. Not all of them, but the majority of them do. So there is a live version specifically that Steve Purcell shot for the Sound and Times Love Sexy band that I really, really, really appreciated. Oh, okay. So no means for me that these theaters no longer exist, and you did not see Purple Rain in any of these theaters. That's how I'm translated that, but correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, Clarissa, this is the one I'm talking about. The Love Sexy tour of him playing it on the piano is my favorite version of the song. And also there's an amazing sax solo by Eric Leeds that you can't see, but you can hear, because they're focusing on Prince on the piano. That is definitely the definitive version for me. And I really love it live. And thank you, Carol. I really appreciate it. Let's see. And Mira says, I really dream to work like Prince. He is my example and work ethics. Yes, Mira, I love reading this. And this is one of the reasons why I do this, is to remind myself of Prince's work ethics. So I have nothing to complain about when I say that I'm busy. Okay, so Andre's saying I saw it at Norwest in Detroit. A few of those theaters have transformed into newer theaters, and others are closed down. Thank you so much, Andre, for that information. Okay, so I did find one article leading up to next week in Detroit from Friday, November 2nd, 1984, from the Detroit Free Press. And I really like, it's a very, very short snippet, but I love the way that they frame this. And the title of this article is "The Forecast is Mostly Music. November in Detroit. Gray skies and blustery winds, right? Not this weekend. The forecast is in, and expect purple rain, thanks to Prince. Yes, his royal badness. His royal rockness. I love that they use that. His royal rockness sets out to conquer Detroit Sunday. See story at right, which is a little odd because I want to show you the story at right, and it's not about the tour, but we'll get to that in a minute. But he's not the only one to make the forecasters take notice of the accumulation of talent in the air. The satellite picture shows Tony Bennett continuing tonight with golden mellow airs at the Premier Center in Sterling Heights, turning to Chuck Mangione there Saturday. I'm going to skip through several and go to the bottom. Chance of some electrical storms at Joe Louis Arena Saturday night with Jethro Tull. Lightning likely with violent films at the Grand Circus Theater. Traveler's advisory, south to north, east to west, heavy activity on all fronts. Check out the seeing and doing pages 6 to 7 for a reading on your destination. So I really love the way that they did this article for sure. Let's see what Chris is talking about. Movie theater where I first saw Purple Rain is now Target. At least it's a Minneapolis business for sure. Hi, Tariq. It's so nice to have you here. Saturday cleaning is what it's all about. I'm so happy to hear that someone's cleaning. I'm doing this instead. Okay, so this is the article that's to the right of what I just read. And it actually is a pretty large article about Vanity, which I think is fantastic. But I just thought it was odd because, Prince is coming to Detroit the following week. And again, 7 sold out shows, but they're featuring Vanity, which is awesome. So the name of the article is Vanity Abdicates from Prince and Courts Her Own Career. And that entire piece underneath the photo is about Vanity. And then there's like this sideline called The Courtiers of Prince. And they talk about Andre Simone, Des Dickerson, Morris Day. They have Patty Apollonia Cotero, as well as Sheila E. I'm not going to read this, but it's in the slide deck if you want access to it. And again, it is on the website for our book club, which is that, bookclub.polishsalad.com. All right. So, music break. We got here really quickly. Let's see. Sleeper Awake says, always wondered whether the story about the king and Electra was edited out of the album version because it doesn't go anywhere after the first version. After the first verse. I love the storytelling style in that first verse. First verse, I try to say that like repeatedly. We all, Theo, need to look up abdicates as we speak. That's a new one for me. Abdicates means just like, give up, essentially, or, no longer hold on to. So that's abdicates. All right. So since we're going to have a very short week, I think it might be good to actually read the lyrics of the latter for Sleeper Awake. And let's do it. So once upon a time in the land of Cenoplity, there lived a king who didn't deserve to be. He knew not from where he came, nor where he was going. He never once said, in this lyric, it says thanks, but thank you, never please. But in the handwritten lyrics, it just says thank. Now this king, he had a subject named Electra, who loved him with a passion uncontested. For him each day she had a smile, but it didn't matter. The king was looking for the ladder. Everybody's looking for the ladder. Everybody wants salvation of the soul. The steps you take are no easy road, but the reward is great for those who want to go. A feeling of self-worth will caress you. The size of the whole wild world will decrease. The love of God's creation will undress you, and time spent alone, my friend, will cease. Everybody's looking for the answer, how the story started and how it will end. But what's the use in half a story, half a dream on the lyrics? You have to climb all the steps in between. All right, so Chris Bournet is saying, I first became familiar with Abdicate in the summer of '84 when Vanessa Williams said, I abdicate the title of Miss America. Yes, I remember that too, Chris. And music break. Okay, I'm very excited. So I talk about Lee Morgan often on What Did Prince Do This Week? And the Blue Note has just released a brand new box set for Lee Morgan called Truly, Madly, Deeply Morgan. And I love what they did where they put Lee's first name instead of L-Y, Deeply. So with all Blue Note records, the covers are almost always really incredible. I literally just got this morning in the mail, so I haven't opened it yet. And it basically are artists covering Lee Morgan, which is really, really great. But in addition to CD as well as this vinyl. It has a really amazing booklet, and you can see some photos, and has a 45, a 7-inch, and it also has a 10-inch. So if you're into your jazz, and if you want to check out Lee Morgan and also current people covering Lee Morgan, this would be a really great set to begin with. So Drea Dancer says, I added the ladder to a playlist I created for my mom when we returned from Paisley Park, and she asked me to make her a playlist. Yes. So again, this is the new box set, and Corey Henry is still on tour, and next week he's going to be in the Netherlands. So I know we have some listeners who are in the Netherlands, and then also he'll be in Finland, and then he'll be at the Blue Note in New York. Speaking of Blue Note, in early December, from December 3rd through the 8th. Yes. So if you've never seen, this is going to be a little different because it's just him on the piano, because he often tours with his band, the Funk Apostles. So it's a different vibe. Yes, Mira, yes. So recently knew that the purple color is the most expensive color of royalty. Indeed. Yes, Tariq, Corey Henry is a great musician, one of the best that we have today. And he puts on a phenomenal show. Absolutely correct. Yes, Carol, Lee Morgan's story is fascinating and such a loss of a brilliant prodigy artist musician at a young age, for sure. There is a really great documentary about Lee Morgan, and to be honest, that's how I found out about Lee Morgan, is through this documentary called I Called Him Morgan, which was released in 2016. I won't tell you about Lee Morgan's life because it was really cut short, but if you watch the documentary, you'll find out about it. And he's definitely one of my favorite musicians of all time. And I got to see Andre 3000 last Saturday at BAM, and Michelle Indigo-Cello opened up for him, as well as joined him on stage during his set. And that was actually my favorite part, is when Michelle joined Andre. I had never seen that before because this is my third time seeing him perform songs from New Blue Sun. For those of you who are in the AATL, because I know we have a lot of AT aliens, I hope that you'll go support Andre at the Fox Theater on November 14th. Yes, yes, yes. The doc is amazing. It's so great to know that you found out about Lee through that documentary as well. Yeah, definitely check out the documentary. I'll put it in the accompanying playlist. That's a really great question. I don't know, like, if it's on Amazon Prime or anything, but I will definitely put the trailer in the accompanying playlist. But I Called Him Morgan is the name of it. And Tanja says, I saw Cyndi Lauper's farewell tour Sunday. She killed When You Were Mine. Cyndi still has it at 71. I can't believe Cyndi Lauper is 71. And for those you don't know, Cyndi Lauper actually covered When You Were Mine. So it's great that she's still performing it in her concerts. All right. And I'm so looking forward to this show. A tribute to funk, November 14th at NJ Pack with Bilal, Nona Hendrix, Christian McBride, Savion Glover, Vernon Reid, and George Clinton. That is really a lineup. I understand, Kim. Yes, yes. For the Andre show, I was all the way up in the balcony because I have just spent too much money on concert tickets. So I was at the top, like almost to like the ceiling, because the shows are getting very expensive these days. So kind of have to spread it, try to thin out the money as much as possible. Okay, in a purple world, we already talked about this last week, but for those of you who may be joining us, Paisley Park is going to have a tribute to the Black Album on the day before my birthday, which is November 22nd. And then again, please continue to help Dr. Funkenberry, Jeremiah Freed, with cancer-related medical costs. Is really, really expensive to go through. And we just want to send him love and hope everything is going okay. So next week, we are going to be reading pages 447 to 451, and it's all about the Detroit shows, and hopefully Andre is going to join us. So make sure you email me, Andre, at WDPDTW@gmail.com so I can send you that information. Yes, Laura, Sagittarius power. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, they are. Once you put like all the tickets and the fees and all of that. Oh, wow. Okay. So Mila's boss went to see Andre and said it was a transformative experience for her. Thank you so much, Andre. I can't wait. I just so excited that you're able to join us, because I really wanted someone to come on to talk about Detroit, because Detroit was always beloved by Prince, and it would just be so great to have someone who went to that show. And I can't believe it's you. So that's so amazing. Can't wait. All right. So that's it for this week, because we only had one date to talk about, and we don't have C. can join me. Michael can join me. So it was just me and you, but that's okay. We do it like that sometimes, but we're very excited next week, because I'm not going to be alone, because Andre is going to join me to talk about the 7 days of the opening of the Purple Rain tour in Detroit. So I hope that you have a really great day in New York. It is beautiful. The sun is shining. It is actually seasonally warm. So I hope that you'll take advantage of almost an hour and 10 minutes that you can actually maybe go do something out in nature. So yes, a hit and run. That's right. So have a great day, everybody. Bye. Yes, Mila. Mila's excited to hear about the Detroit show. Oh, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I always feel like you guys don't like it when I'm just here by myself. Oh, thank you, Timekeeper. A reminder that our clock goes back an hour tonight. I never remember these things, so thank you. My mom calls me about this before all of our devices automatically, change. But before that, my mom used to, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, Becky, it's so great to see you with your avatar. Welcome, Dr. Claw. Oh, okay. So Lunch with Prince is hoping to see the time and Sheila E. tomorrow in San Diego. Amazing. So I'm outie.